Oh no, he's dead! He's dead! Hello everyone, this is 1-800-LAWYER-UP from FormalFocus.com. I don't even know why I said that. I don't know. I thought I'd be creative, but on playback I'm probably going to sound like a complete jack-off. Anyway, part 2, Bloody Murder, coming at you, where we cover jurisdiction. But first things first, on the off chance this is your first secret public diary that you're hearing from me, first off, shame on you for just clicking on a random video in a series which is obviously numbered. My thumbnails are like perfect. It tells you like which episode you're on. That's like a crazy person logging on to Netflix for a TV series that's like 20 episodes long, and you click on episode 6 thinking you're like, I don't know, making a 200 IQ play. It's retarded. So part 2. Yes, I am indeed a lawyer. I crossed the bar in 2018. However, I'm fortunate enough to have made some really good money, and I don't need to work anymore. I'm quasi-retired. But according to the Law Society of Alberta, I cannot give out any legal advice. I just can't. So, don't ask me, all right? Ask a lawyer who is actively practicing in your area. That makes sense, all right? I don't care that you have to pay a ridiculous amount. Okay, I don't care that I give out better advice and it's free, and it's not advice. It's only for entertainment purposes only, just so that we're clear. Also, this is entirely unscripted. I only write down a few words on a piece of paper, and I think about what I'm gonna say, and then I say it. That's how these secret public diaries work. I do end up kind of like re-recording some parts. I figured I thought I was gonna be like a pro champ at just explaining very articulately the complexities of the law to civilians who've never studied the law at all, except for maybe some minor charges that they too had to live as the perpetrators, because I bet most of my fans are degenerates, but I still love you even though you're degenerates, and that's why I do what I do, and I do this for you, and I did mean to rhyme. Oh boy. Okay, so the next is jurisdiction. This is probably like the least, I guess. I don't know why I was going to say like the less sexiest. That doesn't even make sense. The least sexiest of the 4 areas. So we covered identity, right, where we need to make sure that we're actually pointing the finger at the bloody finger, if you will, at the right person. The second jurisdiction is kind of like the most bland. I can't believe I'm talking so casually about murder anyways. This is kind of insane. But hey, I'm a degenerate and I attract degenerates. What can I say? The other 2 that we're going to be covering in the next coming weeks is guilty mind and guilty action, which is much more sexier than jurisdiction. So jurisdiction is just making sure that the right person is actually prosecuting the case, and the location of it. So, like, especially if it's like a high-profile case, you've got a lot of like hands in the cookie jar, so to speak. It's gonna be covered in the media and stuff, and the people are looking for a hero and for a conclusion, and especially if like the location is a little off. And this could happen when, say, people believe that a murder happened in one area, but they find like a body, maybe in a different like city or something like that, or across a particular like boundary line. So there could be like the RCMP, our Royal Canadian Mounted Police Force, which apparently they're hardcore. They're supposed to be our big federal like enforcement agency, but I mean, that's calling a Canadian hardcore military enforcement, is kind of, the toughest like brawny fan out there, right? So, or brony, I don't know what they call them, like the guys who just dig those ponies. It's like being the toughest one out of them. It doesn't mean much, but it's our federal agency nonetheless, and we pat them on the head, and we're proud of them. But it could be them. It could be the local police that want action on it. You've got like that police officer that wants that promotion to true detective level. They're prosecutors who want to run it because, you know, they obviously want to get some notoriety and become famous, right? They want those career type cases. So jurisdiction is more of an issue of like who's gonna try it, who's gonna, you know, make it happen. If it's like, it could be an issue where, say there's like a high profile case in a smaller town. Say it's like the mayor's son that everybody kind of hates because he's kind of like this Chad who drives his like Ferrari at like 3 a.m. revving his engines and gelling his hair, and I don't know, just, you know, making passes at women inappropriately, you know, that type of guy, right? Let's say he's being charged with murder one, and like nobody in this town just likes him. No one likes him. No one likes Chad. So they would bring in probably like a special prosecutor, you know, just because like the jurisdiction is kind of a little hot, right? You know, they want to make sure that people are unbiased and stuff. I think that was like that Robert Downey Jr., the judge or something like that. They had to bring in like Billy Bob Thornton as a... So it'd be like a case like that, right? Where they want to make sure everything's unbiased, and, you know, that's like a jurisdiction issue too as well, right? You don't want people within that bubble to taint anything and throw the administration of justice into disrepute, right? So I got some time. I think this gameplay is like 9 minutes and 54 seconds, so I've got 3 minutes. And you guys only listen to me once a week, right? Like, I miss you guys. Like, I want to record more and generate content, and I do. You got to check out like the gameplay list. I've got like this new 4K capture card. It is sweet as hell, and I can record party audio, and I'll make sure, like, you know, it's good audio. Like, you know, hopefully it's not one of those cases where a random's in our party going on a tirade and just being toxic. Hopefully it's not one of those gameplays, and I'll make sure it won't be one of those gameplays. But check those out. And these, though, I only produce like once a week, and I know you guys like are itching. You're like, I gots to know, lawyer. I gots to know. You're like crack addicts, just scratching your neck, waiting for the next secret public diary. So this is kind of related. It's not like directly related to jurisdiction or bloody murder for that. I don't think it's related at all, except for the fact that it's like timing and location. One story I have from my articles is my principal, who was my supervisor. She's a lawyer herself, really well respected in the community. I operate under her insurance. So I finished law school. I do my articling year as a student at law under her insurance. She supervises my work, basically. If everything's cool, after a year, I get to be a lawyer myself with my own insurance. That's kind of how it works. But this is her story, not mine. She told me that, and this is like a family law issue, where she was representing a guy who won the lottery. And it wasn't like one of those gigantic, like, Mega Millions where they win like 64 million Powerball, whatever. It was like still a substantial amount. It was definitely under $1 million. It was like 700 or 800,000, and that's actually a large sum of money in Canada, because the lotteries that we have here are tax-free. So if you win the lottery, you don't have to pay any tax on it. But I mean, you do usually have like appearances you need to make, and like safety can be an issue. For the main lottery, you don't. If you win the lottery and you don't want people to know that it's you, and there's no stipulations under the terms and conditions of you accepting that you need to release your identity, but of course there are going to be reporters outside like waiting for you. What you do is you hire a law firm on your behalf to accept the check, and then they'll give it to you privately, so you can retain them for that type of service too. A lot of people don't know that. If you win the lottery, do that. But he actually won the lottery a day after his divorce got finalized. And if it was a day before his divorce got finalized, he'd have to like split the winnings with someone that he couldn't care for anymore and is separating from. So timing and location, obviously very important for divorce, and at least in that particular case. and also for jurisdiction. You want to make sure like location, just like a real estate agent. But that's this week's Secret Public Diary. We'll hit you again next week with Guilty Mind. All right. Hopefully you enjoy this, and I will see you next time.